I'm in the middle of a California national forest. I've actually been driving for a couple hours in my Motovan, and since I purchased the Motovan back in I think it was July last year, I've been really busy. I thought I'd make a video about the updates to my van since my last video. And there she sits in the middle of nowhere. I drove up here a couple hours, and now I haven't seen anyone for about an hour, and I find myself here. I've seen a lot of people on the main roads, but as soon as you get to the service roads, it starts to peter out. Anyways, I think I found myself a pretty interesting place. Anyways, this video is about the updates I've done to this 2007 Ford Econoline E150. I've done a few upgrades. I guess worth taking a look. Really, my goal for this van is to quickly throw in my WR, maybe some gear, definitely my riding gear, and then maybe in the future some camping gear for an overnighter. I mean, it took about 2.5–3 hours to get out here in the van, and there's no way I'm gonna take a WR 250R on the interstate for 3 hours. So, well, first off, I wanted to get the brakes checked out on this since I bought it, and just a walk around from a professional mechanic. Thankfully, everything seems to be in a good condition. I mean, since I bought the van, all I've been doing was putting gas in it. I did have to swap out the battery, but the fluids, the engine, the brakes were all relatively maintained. It was a government-owned vehicle, so I'm happy about that. But, you know, I knew I was going to take it out onto roads like this, where, you know, perhaps a two-wheel drive high clearance vehicle can pretty much eat it up with no problem. There are dips along the way, but nothing too intensive. It's not like you're rock crawling. But anyways, I really wish I had a Quigley 4x4, but those cost an arm and a leg. So what I did was I went to Ford Parts 1, and they had a leveling kit for the E150, and it gives you about, I don't know, 1.5–2 inches in the front. So I had the mechanic actually install that hardware, and it sits right there. I think the leveling kit makes the van sit in a righteous position. It's looking pretty good, but still stealthy enough where you can park it in the city and no one's going to look at it obnoxiously. And since I lifted the front, I thought having new shocks all around would be a good idea to get me maybe a 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch. So what I did was we sourced some Bilsteins up front, and also some Bilsteins in the back. The springs here are still stock, and so are the leafs in the back, with some pretty good clearance to get over these medium grade trails. But I do feel a big improvement with the Bilsteins all around and the leveling kit as far as quality of ride. I mean, previous, when I first got it, you know, the stock shocks really, you know, made the van squeak on the interior. And now that these new shocks at all corners were installed along with the leveling kit, I don't get a lot of squeaks. I feel like it's a bit stiffer, almost the difference between like a sports car suspension versus a small, sedan suspension. I don't know. But anyways, I thought it was worth the upgrade. All right, inside, here's what's happened since my last video. I was able to just get some self-tapping screws, put these D-link kind of, rails in here. One on the floor here. This is so I could put this accessory strap anywhere I want along this rail. And also those O-rings, and those are removable, and you could stick them in any slot here. I originally just purchased this, but I had nothing to retain the bike. So I did a bit more research. I found online that there was actually, single anchor points that you could buy along with this wheel chock. So that allows me to, in this configuration, I have one bike, my WR250R, and I put that, kind of in the center of the van. But if I ever had another bike, I could actually get another wheel chock, put it here, and line it up in this manner, and possibly a third. But really, this van is built for me and my family, and my sons are still small. They don't ride dirt bikes, but they do mountain bike. So when we do go mountain bike, I want them to come along in this Motovan. Wife typically sits here where the gear is when we go mountain bike. But if you could tell, I have a couple seats that fold away. So that's a double. These two are singles. I purchased these off at Craigslist. I think it was a couple $100. These seats actually got torn out of a handicapped shuttle bus. You got to anchor them to the floor for sure. And I know that's an amateur job, but it does a trick. It's nice and sturdy, all of these. I was careful to not, drill holes for these bolts so that it, didn't hit anything. And luckily, I think I got a configuration here that's going to be pretty acceptable. I'll show you how that drops down in another video, but basically, when the kids are around, that puppy comes down. There's a lever at the back here, and now you got a jump seat with a seat belt. So I got seating for 1, 2, 3, 4. This big boy comes all the way down. 5, 6, and I have a family of 5. But when we go mountain biking, I definitely can fit everyone in here and all the mountain bikes in that corner. This seat is a double. So part of the reason why I wanted to get single anchor points down here is because if I had the seat down and I was taking my WR250R out, this slot here would be ideal. Kind of happy with that. Step around the back. I know there's SUVs and trucks, and I could also haul this stuff. This is purely utilitarian. I put my gas back in here. I also got a couple more. I also got a couple plates in here that helps me in case I need to tie down anything in the rear. And I have the universal, what is this? The bar. So I can, you can see here, not a good job, but I have my aluminum ramps all secured to the wall so they don't rattle around on the floor. Overall, that's the van right now. I think she's sitting pretty nice. I've been tooling around the forest for a while. I'm gonna hop back in the van, just follow this trail wherever it goes. But stay tuned, I got a couple more upgrades in mind. I figure as I upgrade more, I'll make more videos.